Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and this puzzle, this is brilliant. I loaded this up and thought it looks quite clever anyway, and then I realised that A. Peterson, the constructor of this puzzle, is featured on the channel a few times and is normally pretty difficult, so we'll watch out for that, has created a puzzle in which the dots in each box are Braille. And apparently they spell out "Oh Bobbins." You can see that this one, the dot pattern is the same as here. So that's an O and that's an O. This one's an H apparently, this dot pattern. And then this is B and is replicated here and here. So I mean, it clearly does work. That's just amazing. So we have dots and we have tiny green lines, which are going to make it hardly worth my revealing the third thing I normally reveal about German whisper lines. We'll get to that in a bit. Don't forget that we have now released Back to the Future, the Blob's Sudoku Hunt on Patreon, and it is fantastic. 10 puzzles, absolute quality throughout. All themed and very brilliantly themed on the original Back to the Future movie starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, etc. And it's 40 years ago this year, 40 years old this year, and it has aged very well. So even if some of the predictions for the future that the other movies made weren't great, I can't remember actually how it goes, but anyway, try it on Patreon, where you can also see Simon solving Listened by Eck, and a lot of people have. And it's a marathon, but it's a marathon with a great finish. So that has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you to Simon for recording his efforts on that puzzle. Of course, I hope that made up for my not doing crossword video during August. But September has begun, and I will try and successfully record my hard crossword during September. Welcome to September, and also there are links under the video to SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD and to our apps, which do feature line Sudoku and domino Sudoku, and very good they are too, as well as Fog of War and the Worms. So please check them out. Do have a look at those. Now, I am going to have a look at Oh Bobbins by A. Peterson today and tell you the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. If a white dot separates 2 digits, they're consecutive. If a black dot separates 2 digits, one is double the other. Adjacent digits along a green line have a difference of at least 5. And that's it. Simple set of rules. Give it a try. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. And I do repeat the warning that A. Peterson doesn't kind of give you anything away. Now, in boxes 1 and 9, we have 3 black dots, none of them overlapping cells with each other. The only digits you can put on a black dot are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. So the digits not on the black dots in these 2 boxes are 5, 7, and 9. And within those boxes, one of the black dots will be a 3-6 pair. They go together in a single family. The others are going to have to be a 1-2 pair and a 4-8 pair. One of the digits on this green line is going to be high. And one of the digits on this green line is going to be high. Because for every 2 digits on a green line, you have to have a high one and a low one. What I normally tell you about green lines is you can't put 5 on them, and that might actually matter. There might be X-wings or something. You therefore have to have digits alternate between higher than 5 and lower than 5 to maintain the differences. And normally I would tell you that in cells where there are 2 digits looking at each other, you can't put 4 or 2 neighbours of the cell looking at each other. You can't put 4 or 6. But in this puzzle, that only applies to these cells and is not so helpful. Right, what I just deduced is that, there are only 2 high digits that can go on black dots, and they are therefore needed in this column, and they are 6 and 8. So one of these pairs, because the black dot will be next to if it's a 6, sorry, if there's a 6 on the green line, it will be next to a 1 every time. So one of these is a 6-1 pair, and the other is 8 and some other digit, which is going to have to be 2 or 3. And 6 and 8 have definitely been used in these yellow cells. Now the same is, oh hang on, it's not true over this side because that digit isn't on a black dot. No, column 8 is different. Column 2 is the only one which has this property. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, what I was going to do about 5s is tell you that 5 can never be on a black dot or a green line. So here are some cells in the puzzle where 5 cannot be. And in column 8, that means 5's in one of those cells. It's nearly an X-wing, but there is an escape hatch for 5 in column 2. I wonder how significant that is meant to be. I don't know. That's... Oh, hang on, here's a thought. These 2 digits, which don't go in these cells, whatever they are, let's call them red and blue, I don't know. Red and blue. They can't go here, but they also can't go on black dots because they're 5, 7 or 9, which have no black dot counterparts. So red and blue are going to have to go in those cells, and that is a 5, 7, 9 triple. Right, I'd better give the other digit in 5, 7, 9 a colour and make it green. And then this is a red-blue pair. Now at some point I might change which is red and which is blue if I get some traction on 5, 7 and 9s. That can't be a 5 on the green line, obviously. I don't know, is that useful? It's very hard to know what to look at in this puzzle. There's also these rows, row 2 and row 8. They're interesting because they have 2 black dots in and a set of 3 on the white, a kind of a consecutive chain of 3 digits. Okay, so what can you... it's tricky. In this box... Okay, what I was going to say is tricky is in boxes 1 and 9, we know that we have either 1, 2, 3, 6 or 4, 8 on each black dot, and that's to accommodate them all. But there is an extra possible black dot pair in boxes 3 and 7, which is 2, 4. However, what are these pairs of black dots? This is worth thinking about. Oh, by the way, that is 7 or 9, isn't it? So this is definitely low. Oh gosh, I'm going to struggle to colour low and high as well. Right. This can't be a 6 because it's in this monogamous cell position. So this can't be a 1 because one of these yellow pairs is a 6-1 pair. And if it's here, we know which way round it goes. Now, we would know exactly what the digits on the black dot would be if it was 6-1. It would be 3, 6, 1, 2. Now, if you were to put 3, 6 there, what can you put on this set of white dots? There is only one answer because once 3 and 6 have been taken out of the string of 9 digits, the only sequence left behind is 7, 8, 9. So that would be 7, 8, 9, and this would be a 5. And then the remaining digits in the row would be 1, 2, and 4. And if that was 3, 6, don't know. What does that mean? It kind of feels like it means something, but I haven't got what it means. Okay, what about this pair? Again here, we've either got, well, 1, 2 would leave that, this couldn't be 4, 8. Okay, here's a thing. Here's a thing. In both row 2 and actually it's row 7, I think I described it as row 8. It's actually row 7 that I've been looking at. In both of those rows, the 2 black dots cannot be occupied by 1, 2, 4, 8. Because the only digits you'd have left are, oh, I'm wrong. I'm quite wrong. This would be a 5, 6, 7 triple. Oh, botheration. Something is going on here, though. Right, there is one pair of black dots that you can't have. And that is 3, 6, 4, 8. Because then you'd only have 1, 2, 5, 7, 9 left. So that is not a possible pair in rows 2 and row 7 on the black dots. 3, 6, 4, 8 is not possible. However, I think everything else is, and that is quite a lot of other possibilities. Okay, let's go back to thinking about this as a 6. This is the yellow where 6, 1 would have to be a specific way round, and something might happen that's a problem. 6 there, 3 here. 1, 2 there. This would be 7, 8, 9, and that would be 5. This couldn't be 2, 4 in this box. It would have to be 1, 2. And that would be low. So we've started with the idea of 6, 3 here, 7, 8, 9 on the white. And we've ended up with 1, 2 here, and also 1, 2 here. Hang on. If that's 6, 1, no, if that's 6, 3 and this is 1, 2 and this is 7, 8, 9, that rather limits, you can't have very high digits on these whites anymore because 7, 8, 9 have gone there. Oh, and 8 would be in the central cell. Oh, goodness, I don't know. Right, I'm going to have to just think of something smarter again. Oh, green. We know that green is the same. Goodness me. Do we know? Yeah, we sort of know where green goes in box 7. Can't be there and it can't be on a black dot, so it's in one of these cells. That's quite interesting. Maybe. Maybe it's not. That digit is on one of these and on one of the white dots. I mean, okay, that's not that surprising. Let's just think about these black dots again. So this is either 6, 1 or 8, 4 over here. No, that's not necessarily true because that could be an 8 and this could be 2 or 3. And 6, 1 is not a black dot pair. Oh gosh, I'm going to get so confused with 6, 1 being a green pair but not a black dot pair. 6, 3 is the black dot pair. So I'm sorry, I've got to slightly recalibrate what I'm thinking about because I'm making mental mistakes all over as well. This blue digit has to be in one of these two cells because it can't be here by Sudoku and it can't be on a black dot. I wish that helped. That digit is in one of those and one of those three. Does that mean this has to be high? Not quite. Oh, nearly. Right. If the only way for this to be low is if it was a 4, because that digit would then have to appear in one of these two. It might be a 5. Then this would be 5, 4, 3. And you could not make up these blacks with 1, 2, 6, 8. So that's not happening. So this is a high digit. And this is a low digit. Right, let's change blue into a different color. Let's make it purple. That's definitely low. Well, that's quite interesting in this row. Yes, that is quite interesting in this row. Because this low digit is not a 4. How do I know that? Because the orange digit here would have to be a 9, but that can't come in between two other digits that are consecutive. So that digit is 1, 2, or 3. This one is 6, 7, or 8. Anyway, this is 1, 2, or 3, and it's consecutive with another low digit here. And now we know that these two black dots must have one high and one low each, because we can't have more than 4 low digits in the row. So they are a 3, 4, 6, 8 quadruple. These two lows are now a 1, 2 pair, and everything else in the row is 5, 7, or 9. That one must be green because it sees these two. This one is not, but I'm beginning to think that I've coloured the wrong bits here. Never mind, don't worry about that. This digit, what do we know about this now? Or, now that we've used 3, 4, 6, 8 as a quadruple there, what does that mean for these? Maybe it doesn't mean anything much. But we got green there. That was interesting. So all of these are not 5, 7, or 9. Green is in one of these cells. This digit is in one of those three, and this one is in one of those three. Okay, come on, that was a really good white dot. I wish I knew more about what it meant. Yeah, okay, I was going to say, where do 1 and 2 go in row 3? But they could both go here, or one could go here and only one over here. No, that's interesting in its own right. One or 2, they can't both go here. So one of them is on this black dot, so it's not a 3, 6 black dot. And it can't have an 8 on it, because then it would be 8 and 4 and wouldn't have any of 1 and 2 on. Well, things are getting a bit more interesting. Now, if this was 6, 3, this would have to be 7, 8, 9. That would be a 5, that would be a 5. So we'd be going 5, 6, 3, 7, 8, 9. And then 1, 2, 4 over here. Oh, goodness. 2 is on one of those cells. So this digit is not a 2. 2 is not on this black dot. Therefore, it's not 1, 2. Therefore, we've got another 3, 4, 6, 8 quad in this box. Because 2's on that black dot. Oh yes, and there isn't a 2, 4 black dot in the box. So it is a 1, 2 black dot. Right. And that is not 1. It is the counterpart of that, which is either 6, 3, or 4. Now, if this is low, so this isn't 3 because of the green line, and that's not 6. goodness. Now, these are all high. Is this a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quintuple? Given what that is and the consecutiveness of these, they're definitely from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So are those two. That is a quintuple. 7 must be in this sequence on it, because we're selecting from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we need 3 consecutives. So that one can't be a 7. And these are low. They're from 1, 2, 3, 4. This digit, there is one low digit here. So this digit is high, but it's not 5, 7, or 9. It is 6 or 8. Here, we don't have a 3 on the black dot because that wouldn't go with another low digit. We definitely have a 2. But this time, this could be 2, 4. If that was 3, 6, and this would be 1, 8. Now, in this row, we've had 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. These digits are from 3, 4, 6, 8. But we can only... Well, 3 and 4 are amongst them. Yeah, okay. I was going to say we can only have one high. And I think that is true. But it's not very powerful, maybe, at the moment. Gosh, this is so confusing. We are getting things done, though. And it is exciting. Right, I'm going to change my colour scheme. Make that one red and this one purple. And therefore these two, I don't know which way round they are. But I'm doing that because I know that red is 5 or 9. And I'm wondering if that's going to help anything. I don't think it is now I've done it. I think I have to think about this row more. Because we did get somewhere thinking, oh no, that 2's on the, if this is 2, 4, that's 3, that's 1. If this is 1, 2, oh, interestingly, I don't know between 3 and 4 then. Right, can we bring this down here at all? The trouble is I didn't actually find out what pair this was. It's either 6, 1 or 2, 8 now. Now, does that rule 3 out of here? If this was 3, that would be 8, and this would be 6, 1. We'd have a 4 and a 6. No, that's not impossible. No. Okay, let's just think about two black dots again. Now, if they were 1, 2, 4, 8, this would be 5, 6, 7, that would be 9, and this would be 3. I don't know if that means something. It doesn't mean anything to me. Ah, there's an even digit in this group of 3 cells. One of 6 or 8 is in those. So this can't be 7 because that would need 6 and 8 to be there. So that's even. This is now a 6, 8 pair. And these others are 5, 7 or 9. And one of them is definitely a 7 because we need a 7 in the row. And one of them is purple and the other is green in my colour scheme. I wish that did something. It doesn't really do anything. Okay, it's either row 7 or box 7, or maybe box 9 that I'm not understanding. Actually, there's quite a lot of white dots in box 8 as well. How am I meant to deal with this? Oh, well, if this was low, if this was 1, 2, or 3, this would be from 1, 2, 4, or 6. That would be quite low. I don't know what this means. Maybe something is going on here. No, I don't know what that means. Okay, if this was 3, we'd have to have an 8 here and a 9 here. Red would be 9 then. Oh, okay, this is quite interesting. This might be worth pursuing. If this was 3, that would be 8 and this would be 9 because of the green line. 9 would be red and it would be there. Ooh, that wouldn't work. Right, if this was 3, that would be 8. 9 would be there, and it would have to be in one of these cells. I know that this wouldn't be, because we've marked green and this sees purple, for this to be 9 it would be red. It would have to be there. So it would be in one of those cells, which would have to be 9, 8, 7, but that would clash with the 8. So that is not a 3. So this pair on a black dot is from the 1, 2, 4, 8 pair. Now, if I could rule out this being 8, I think we'd be in some kind of business at least. If that was 8, this would be low and that would be low. And this would be 4. Also, if this was 8, you'd have 6, 1 up here. But since I think that might well be the answer, I'm probably not going to find out why that's a problem up here. Well, mind you, if this was 6, this is a 4, 8 pair. But 8 is the high digit here, so this can never be 8. That's interesting. If this is 8, this is a 3, 6. If that's 8, we're looking at a 6 here as the high digit. Oh yes, we are definitely using, we're definitely using both digits out of 6, 8 here. So that's not 6 either. So this has become low, 3 or 4. Oh, well, I could colour this orange, funnily enough, which I was originally using just to mean high, but it now means that 6 or 8, and that must be orange as well. That's slightly interesting. This is 6 or 8 yellow. Let's get rid of the other yellow digits. That was really just for aid my worrying. So orange is in one of these two cells, whichever it is. That's quite interesting. Then orange must be in one of these 3. Okay, I do need to think about this a bit more. Now this pair has got to use a high digit that can go on a black dot, just like all the other pairs in column 2. So this is either 6, 1 or 8, 2 or 8, 3. Or 8, 1 actually. Yeah, it could be 8, 1. Bother. Okay, this white dot sequence. I should have done more thinking about this white dot sequence than I've done. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know anything about these digits or these, despite the white dots and the little bit of green line. They could be anything, couldn't they? We've used 6 and 8 in the column, so we've still got to put 5, 7 and 9 in the column somewhere, in those 4 cells. Oh, that's a bit interesting. I don't know, I can't quite grasp what that means. I still need to think about this bloomin' row. Right, if that was 2, this would be 8, 4. That would have to be 1. If this is 3, this has to be 6, and that's 8, and that's 4. If this is 6, that's 1, 2, and this is 3. And if this is 8, this is 4. And now this is going to be a 1, 2 pair in some order. But if that was 8, 4, this couldn't be 3, 6, because then you couldn't make this up. So if that was 8, 4, this would be a 1, 2 pair over this side. And these would be 5, 6, 7, very definitely. With a 9 there and a 3 sitting out here. If this was 2, 4, that's not going to work. 2, 4 is not going to work because that would be an 8 and this would have to be another 4. So if this is a 2, this is only going to be a 1. And this is going to be 8 and that's going to be 4. And that would have to be 3 in that situation. That doesn't work. That's quite interesting. I hadn't seen that coming. If this was 2, this has to be 1. 8 there. This now has to be 3, the only remaining low digit. But 8 in one of these cells means 6 there and 3 there clashing with the 3 here. So this is now not a 2 at all. And this is not a 1. And I seem to have ruled out this being... No, I took 4 out of this cell because I said it couldn't be a 2, 4 pair, but I had not given enough thought to 8, 4. So hang on a second. 8, 4 there. What's that? That's going to leave these be... Well, they're not going to be 1, 2, 3, or you can't make this up. So they're going to be 5, 6, 7. And that's going to have to be a 1, 2 pair in that case. If this is 8, 4, that's a 1, 2 pair. If this is 3, 6, that's 7, 8, 9. And this pair is from 1, 2, 4. There's always a 2 on this pair. It's from 1, 2, 4. And in this box, it cannot be 2, 4 because you can't make up the other black dots. So that is a 1, 2 pair. That has taken me far too long to see. But I think it was slightly complicated, to be fair. Anyway, we've now got a low digit there. So this one is high. It's either a 6 or an 8. It can't be 6 in that position, or these would both be 1s on the green line. Here we go. We're going to get underway now. That's an 8. That's a 3. It's not a 3, thank goodness. It's a 4 if that's an 8. Now let me just check that I was doing that right then. I said this can't be a 6. Yes, I was right. 8. 3. Not 3, 4. Stop getting the wrong things in your head. This is a 3 on the green line. That's a 6. Now we've got something going here. 8 and 4 have been ruled out of these two cells. They are a 1, 2 pair. There's an even digit on this white dot and it's a 6. And that's very interesting. That's going to limit this stuff if there's a 6 there. We can't use 1, 2 or 6 on this sequence. It's either 3, 4, 5, and that would break this black dot, whatever it was, or it's 7, 8, 9. So that's what it is. It's 7, 8, 9. We've got a 5th digit in the grid. 5. Well, these are our first 4. It's taken me half an hour to get any digits in the grid, hasn't it? But I've now learned that green is a 5, and that is valuable. We've got 3, 4, 6 over this side of the grid. So the black dot is a 3, 6 pair. But that is low. So this is 6. And that's 3. And this is 4 sitting out here. This is high. Oh, it could be anything. That hasn't resolved itself. But it has 7, 8, 9 triple. So this is a 5, 6 pair. These two are not 5s anyway. 3 in the box is definitely there. This digit is 7 or 9. Now, let's go back to my earlier colour scheme because it seems to be working from this end of the grid instead. I can't remember which way round I had these as red and purple, but we'll say red on top and purple below. This digit is now purple. And that sees this one, which can't be purple. And therefore this one is purple. And now this one is purple. And purple is 7 or 9 there and 5 or 9 here. Yeah, because it can't be 7, that's right. So purple is 9. Nice. Red is 7. This is 7 and 5, and that's 6, which actually fits in very nicely with that digit. Right. Here we go now, 8 Peterson, I'm on to you. That 6 makes this one an 8. That on the black dot is 4. I've got that in my head now. 3 and 6 up there. No 4s in these cells, so that's a 1-2 pair, and this digit's 3. Got a 1-2 pair in this column and an 8-6 pair, so that's low. And that's high, and it can't be 6, so that's 8. This is 6. Let's get rid of the orange colouring. Don't really need it anymore, and the yellow colouring. Might be able to get rid of red, purple and green, but I'm just going to leave it for the time being in case it helps somewhere I hadn't noticed. Now, down here we've got 1, 2 and 4. So it's 1, 2 on the white dot, 4 there. That can't be 9. We've got 5, 7, 8 as a sort of triple down here. Oh, 7 is looking at that. Is 5? Yes, it is. That is an 8. And that doesn't get a colour. These two are green and red. Yeah, I don't know. Now I can finally look a little bit at the, in a moment, at the central 3 rows. That can't be 5, right. So here we've got 1, 2, 6. This digit can't be a 6 because 1 is in one of those cells and can't go there. So this is low, this is high, 7 or 9. But look at that white dot, we know what this is, it's 7 next to 6. 7 is looking at that cell, so I can do these colours now. Nice. Now in this column we've had a 1, 2 pair, we've got 4 and 9 still to mark. One of them will be touching an 8. And that doesn't actually resolve everything there. Right, have we got no other columns where we've got all the digits in rows 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 completed? No. Have I missed anything on the whisper? Yes, that has to be a 1. And that's a 2. I don't think anything else. Oh yeah, there it is. I was going to say nothing else is going to reveal itself on the whisper, and that did. That 1 fixes the 2 down here. In fact, that's a 1, 2 X-wing that's been available probably for a while. They must both appear in these cells. Oh, 9 is looking at that digit. Oh, it's just Sudoku. We like it when it's just Sudoku, because that's less complicated thinking. Now, I'm miscolouring 7 there for some reason, known only to myself. That's green, that's 5. I don't know why I'm doing the colouring still, but anyway. Now this black dot, it needs a 3 or a 4 on as the low digit, and that can't go with a 7, so it must go with a 9, and the 7 in the column has to be here. Now, is that going to inform something else? It's going to put 7 in one of these 2 cells, and they are on a white dot, so this is not where 5 goes. Now we've found 5 in column 8, and that's not 5, and that doesn't prove what this is, but we need 7 here, either with 6, obviously, or with 8. What about this column? 8, 6 are both looking at that cell, so that's 7, and this one isn't. In this column, that is not 7 anymore, that is 9. Could colour this, I suppose. This is 1 or 2, no, it's not 1 or 2, it's 3 or 4, but it's still low. And this is therefore 8 or 9, but it can't be 8, so it's 9. That's become 6, actually. This is 1 or 2, and now I can do this white dot, and that's probably going to finish everything off. We get a 5 there. In this central row, we're picking up pace. That can't be 3. This, it can't be 4 either, because that can't be 3 or 5, so it's 9. That can only go with 8 on the dot. Now I've got 1 and 4 to place in the remaining cells, so I can just do that. This has become a 4. That was a 4 ages ago. Didn't really change anything. 1, 2, and 8 still to place in column 9. Now this central box, and we've got this 3 or 4. This digit can't be 1, 2, or 3. So I'm going to put 4 or 5 in. In fact, if I was just doing green cells, I can see where the last green in the puzzle goes, and it's there. So then we get 4, 3, 8, 4, 6 here. What have we got to put in? 3 and 2 in the remaining cells. We've had 2. So that's a 1, 8 pair. This is 2, that's 1. This is 2, that's 1. Now I'm sure this isn't a deadly pattern really. We've got 4 looking at that cell. So 9, 8 there, 3, 4 below. This 2, 1's been done for a while. That becomes a 1. Then I can do the 1 in row in box 4. And there we go. There is the solution to, oh, let's colour that purple. And what have we got? 2 colours to put in this box. There we go. All the colouring of 5s, 7s and 9s is done. And it was helpful. I was thinking at the beginning that that might be useless, but it's a really clever puzzle. My goodness. That is hard. It's existed for 2 years. Goodness gracious. It's very good though. I'm very pleased to have done it now. Wow, that was tough stuff. But thank you for having a go at that with us. And really hope to see you again on the channel tomorrow. Bye for now.